Brooks, obviously C.J. Stroud's pick number 2, and we're going to ask this question. I know you're going to ask D'Amico Ryans and Nick Caserio, but there is a quarterback right now still currently on the roster in Houston named Davis Mills, who started the last couple of seasons. What does this now mean for Davis Mills? Is he sort of the starter to start this thing off, or is it a true competition between C.J. Stroud and Davis Mills?
It would surprise me if C.J. Stroud is not the person taking the first snap in the first game. Davis Mills was a third-round pick, the first selection ever by Nick Caserio out of Stanford, and he went into that season, and it was Tyrod Taylor in 2021. They wanted to see him develop over time. He had a pretty good ending through the last 5 games of the 21 season. And remember, that was when David Culley was the head coach. Tim Kelly,
right,
former offensive coordinator, was there. Part of what they tried to do after the Texans fired Culley and elevated Pep Hamilton, was the quarterback coach at the time, was giving them the opportunity to see what they had in Davis Mills and giving him the best scenario with consistency with Hamilton, who was his quarterback coach and had Stanford ties, understood some of the offense and the skills that Davis Mills had, and to see if they could get the top value out of third-round quarterback, who then subsequently wouldn't count so much to their cap space, and they could address other things with those 2 first-round picks later on. It didn't work out that way. Davis Mills in last season, it regressed heavily. We could get into the statistics, but through both quarterbacks, they scored 6 touchdowns for the other team. Mills threw several pick sixes throughout the year. His accuracy was off. This was under a favorable situation with Pep Hamilton, who was let go and along with the rest of the Texans, most of the Texans coaching staff from last season, and they did less with more on the offense. And they averaged the fewest yards per drive in the NFL again. They had a lot of trouble getting the ball downfield, and it was clear to everyone by the end of the year that the Texans would be pursuing a quarterback and needed to do that. And that was really why it was pretty interesting to me that the past month or so there were a lot of conversations that the Texans might pass up on a quarterback because they definitely needed one. So this is a scenario where the Texans picked up Case Keenum, a veteran quarterback, journeyman from the NFL in free agency. I expect him to be kind of in this situation with Davis Mills to compete for a backup role. I mean, every coach is going to say publicly with a new rookie, they have to earn it. They have to come in and
right,
get the job. But this is a scenario where you drafted C.J. Stroud number 2 overall with the expectation for him to go into an offense. Bobby Slowick from the San Francisco 49ers, this is his first time as an offensive coordinator.
correct.
He's building a system around the players that he has, and they went and got one here. So that's going to be part of this. They're building an offense around the talent they have, and C.J. Stroud is the biggest asset they have so far for that.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.